We are glad to welcome you to our channel. Kindly subscribe to our channel and share our videos with your friends and relations. And click on the bell icon for instant notification whenever new videos are uploaded on this channel. Rest assured that we are going to have a very exciting and inspiring discussion. Let's dive into the lesson right away. Hello everyone, welcome to today's lesson on the best tips for JAMB English Oral Forms. If you are preparing for the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board JAMB and you want the English Oral Forms section, you are in the right place. This is English Classes Online and I am your host Benjamin. I will guide you through the essential tips to enable you to master this part of the exam. So let's get started right away. We want to begin with the lesson objectives. In this lesson, we are going to cover the following. Number 1, what are oral forms? 2, vowel sounds. 3, consonant sounds. 4, stress, which of course include word stress and contrastive stress. And then we are going to look at past JAMB questions and I will show you how to answer them. Now let's begin with the basic question, what are oral forms? The JAMB oral forms assess your ability to articulate spoken English. This section is designed to evaluate your pronunciation, intonation, stress patterns, and overall oral communication skills. It is crucial to understand the key elements that really make up effective oral communication. Oral forms in JAMB include the following oral English topics: vowel sounds, consonant sounds, rhymes, stress, intonation. Now, let's take a look at the vowel sounds. Vowel sounds play a significant role in oral forms. Correct pronunciation of vowels can make a huge difference. So you need to pay close attention to the short and long vowel sounds as well as diphthongs. So let's look at a few examples from the vowel chart. We want to take a look at the vowel chart to ensure you are on the right track. So here you see the 12 monotongues: E, I, U, U, E, E. Then this is the sure sound, the central vowel sound, A, as in about. Here you have O, and here you have O. Here you have A, and here you have A. And then this is a vowel sound that lies in the middle between A and O. So here you have it in a word like cut. I cut my finger. Cut. Love. Son. All right. Now, this brings us to the next, which is consonant sounds. Proper enunciation of consonants is essential for clear communication. So we will cover some common consonant sounds and how to articulate them accurately. Remember that clarity is key when it comes to oral communication. Let's take a look at a few consonant sounds from the consonant chart. Now, English consonant sounds are of different types in terms of the manner of articulation. you have the stop, which is also called the plosive sound, the fricative, the affricate, nasal, lateral. So here you have P and B. This is voiceless, this is voiced. And these are bilabial consonant sounds, because the articulation of P, for example, involves the upper and lower lips coming together. All right. And then the same applies to B. Then when you look at the talking about bilabial, then you have M, which is a bilabial nasal. P and B are bilabial stops. M is a bilabial nasal, and W is a bilabial glide, if you like, okay, or semi-vowel. Now you have the labiodental. So here you have the labiodental dental fricatives F and V. Then the dental or interdental, you have the dental fricatives, the voiceless, and the voiced, and so on and so forth. So just to give you insight into the consonant sounds, okay? Moving forward, we want to look at stress, okay? Stress is another crucial aspect of oral communication. Knowing where to place stress in words and sentences enhances your overall fluency. So we will explore the importance of stress and practice identifying and placing stress in different words and sentences. Now let's begin with word stress. Now, word stress is the extra force we use when pronouncing a particular word or part of it. It is also called syllable stress, okay? For example, you have the word object, which is a noun. When stress is on the first syllable, object. But when the stress is on the second syllable, object, it becomes a verb. For a noun, the stress is on the first syllable, object. For a verb, stress is on the second syllable, object. Okay? Now you have the word frequent, adjective, frequent, verb. Then you have education, education, musician. Okay? For words that end in certain suffixes, stress is on the second syllable to the end of the word. Okay? Now, contrastive stress, on the other hand, which is also known as emphatic stress, is a stress imposed on a word or syllable in order to contrast it with an alternative word or syllable, or to focus attention on it. For example, Jane likes rice. Now, we impose stress on likes, and that is to contrast the idea that Jane likes rice with the idea that she doesn't hate it. Okay? And when you say Jane, if stress is on Jane, Jane likes rice, which means we are contrasting the fact that Jane is the one that likes rice with the idea that Rose, it is not Rose who likes rice, rather it is Jane. So we impose stress on any word that we want to highlight, okay? So, and moving forward, we want to look at consolidated JAMB questions, English questions of 2019, so that I will show you how to answer them. In each of questions 11 to 13, choose the option that best completes the gaps. 11. My neighbor bruised his thigh while playing football. Stress is on bruised. And then we have options. A. Did your neighbor break his leg while playing tennis? B. Did your neighbor fracture his thigh while playing football? C. Was your neighbor involved in an accident? D. Did your neighbor play football yesterday? So this is about contrastive or emphatic stress. So I'm going to show you how to answer these questions. Then question 12, my mother served rice and fresh fish stew. A. Did your mother serve rice and fresh fish? B. Who served rice and fresh fish stew for dinner? You see, the stress is imposed on mother. C. What kind of meal did your mother serve for dinner? D. What kind of stew did your mother serve for dinner? Question 13. The president spoke to the press. Emphasis, stress is on spoke. A. Did the president write to the press? B. Did the president speak to the press? C. Who spoke to the press? And D. Are these the pressmen the president spoke to? Then another segment. In each of the questions 14 to 15, choose the appropriate stress pattern from the options. So we are through with contrastive stress. Now it is stress patterns or word stress or syllable stress. The syllables are written in capital letters. That is the stress syllables. Now, 14, we have suburbanite, suburbanite. Okay. Then here you have suburbanite, 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 suburbanite. So now you have to choose the one that has the correct stress, and the same thing in question 15. Now let's proceed to answering them. So we begin with question 11, which is a question on contrastive stress. My neighbor bruised his thigh while playing football. So stress is on bruised. So all other things being equal in this sentence, we are looking for a contrastive word. Because what this means is that my neighbor bruised his thigh while playing football. Then this has to do with an opposing view. You know, assuming someone is saying that my neighbor broke his thigh, for example, but here it is bruised, not broke. You see, so we are just looking for a contrastive word, all other things being equal in the sentence. That's how to identify the correct option. So let's begin to look at the options. Option A, did your neighbor break his leg while playing tennis? We are talking about thigh, not leg, so this does not apply, so we eliminate it. B, did your neighbor fracture his thigh while playing football? So all other things are equal here, and then except the contrasting word fracture. But this is the correct option because the argument here is that did your neighbor fracture his thigh while playing football? Assuming somebody is saying that your neighbor fractured his thigh while playing football, and then you are saying no, that's not exactly what happened. That was not what happened. My neighbor did not fracture his thigh while playing football. Instead, my neighbor bruised his thigh while playing football. So this question is the appropriate question to which this statement is the correct answer. Did your neighbor fracture his thigh while playing football? The answer is no. My neighbor did not fracture his thigh while playing football. Instead, my neighbor bruised his thigh while playing football. So that is how to identify the correct answer. C, was your neighbor involved in an accident? This is irrelevant. D, did your neighbor play football yesterday? That's not the question. Now, the answer is B, did your neighbor fracture his thigh? Now, this brings us to question number 12. My mother served rice and fresh fish stew. This stress is on mother. And so we are going to look at a contrastive word to mother. The question is, who served rice and fresh fish stew? It was my mother who served rice and fresh fish stew. So let's look at options. A, did your mother serve rice and fresh fish? No, this is not the appropriate question. B, who served rice and fresh fish stew for dinner? This is the appropriate question to which this statement is the correct answer. So the correct option is B. The statement in question 12 gives the exact answer to the question in B. Who served the rice and fresh fish stew for dinner? My mother served rice and fresh fish stew. Now, other options, option C, what kind of meal did your mother serve for dinner? So, the stress was not on the kind of meal. If stress was on rice and fresh fish stew, then you could say the question is what kind of meal, but that's not exactly the question. D, what kind of stew did your mother serve for dinner? So that's another irrelevant question. So the answer is B, who served rice and fresh fish stew for dinner? My mother served rice and fresh fish stew. Okay, so question number 13. The president spoke to the press. The president spoke to the press. Stress is on spoke. So we are going to look for a contrastive word, a word that presents a contrastive or contrasting idea to spoke. So option A, did the president write to the press? This is correct because if the question is, did the president write to the press? The answer is no, the president did not write to the press. Instead, the president spoke to the press. B, did the president speak to the press? Irrelevant question. C, who spoke to the press? This would have been the question if the stress is on president. D, are these the pressmen the president spoke to? This is irrelevant. And so the answer is A. Did the president write to the press? No. Instead, the president spoke to the press. Now, to another segment, in each of the questions 14 to 15, choose the appropriate stress pattern from the options. The syllables are written in capital letters. Question 14, suburbanite. Now, A, suburbanite. This does not correspond to the stress pattern. Here, stress pattern should be on suburbanite. So stress should be on the second syllable. B, suburbanite. So this is the correct option. C, suburbanite. No, this is strange. D, No stress placed anywhere. So the correct option is B. Okay, the correct option is B, and that of course shows us that stress is on the second syllable, suburbanized. So that is B. All right, take notes that stress is on BUR, suburbanized. Now moving forward, question 15, departmentalize. Departmentalize. So option A should be the appropriate stress. Stress is on men, departmentalize. B is incorrect, C is incorrect, and D is incorrect. So the correct option is A, departmentalize. This brings us to JAMB questions for the year. Excuse me. This brings us to the JAMB questions for the year 2020. In each of questions 56 to 58, choose the option that has the same vowel sound as the one represented by the letter or letters underlined. Then we have 56 beer, and then options 57 touch. Note the underlined letters. In beer, we have EER underlined. In touch, we have TH underlined. And so we are looking for a sound, a vowel sound, or a consonant sound that actually represents those underlined letters. 58, we have judge, D, G, underlined. And then another segment, in each of question 59 to 60, choose the appropriate stress pattern from the questions. The syllables are written in capital letters, so that is also on stress. Then we have 59, melodramatic. Then we have options. 60, we have understandable. Then we have options. Now, let's begin to answer the questions, beginning with question number 56. The given word is beer, and so the underlying letters are EER. They represent the sound ear, a diphthong, ear. Option A, bear, B, pear, C, fair, and D, pear. So the correct answer is D, pear, beer, pear, beer. Question 57, we have touch. TH underline. A, clothing. No. B, another. Here we have, this is a voiceless dental sound. The TH in clothing is voiced. The TH in another is voiced. Then C, then, the TH in then is voiced. And D, method. The TH in method is voiceless. So that's the correct option. And so we have the answer as D, method. So that's how to pick the correct option. 58, we have judge. Underline letter DG. A, measure. The sound of G is not in measure. B, general. Judge, general. So you can perceive the similarity between general and judge. C, pressure. D, grace. These are all eliminated. So the correct option is B, general. And the general, the G in general corresponds to the G in judge. So let's now move on to another segment. In each of questions 59 to 60, choose the appropriate stress pattern from the options. Let's go to question number 59. Melodramatic. Dramatic. Dramatic. So the stress should be on ma. And so option A, melodramatic, no stress there. B, melodramatic, this is strange. C, melodramatic, unusual as well. D, melodramatic. So D is the correct option, melodramatic. Question number 60, we have understandable. And so stress should be on standable. B, unacceptable. I mean A, stress cannot be on da. And here, the stress cannot be on able. And then C, no stress on C. D, stress is on stand. And that's the correct option. So understandable, that's the stress there, okay? And here you have it. Today we covered the basics of JAMB oral forms, including vowel and consonant sound, stress, and we also tackled real questions from past JAMB exams. Remember that consistent practice is the key to success, so stay tuned for more tips and tricks to excel in your JAMB English oral forms. I wish you well with your preparations, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. Notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon, click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video.